Hi guys, Squall here. Welcome to another episode of my realistic playthrough of Derail Valley. We're down at the harbour. If you remember, we finished the last episode down at the harbour. Brought the DH4 and the D6 down here. They're currently over at the service yard, which we've serviced. It is chucking it down with rain. It's sarcastic lightning going on. And what I said to you on the last episode is we'll have a look at the station office, see what jobs there are, see if we want to take a little sleep here and wait for this rain to go away. Having looked at the forecast, currently it is just past 5 p.m. The current forecast is saying that the rain should end around about 6 p.m. So I had a look through all these jobs here. There's quite a lot of jobs in the harbour, as there always is. And, you know, I do want to get up to the machine factory so we can get our parts for our D6. And the best set of jobs I've kind of come up with was these three here. So I thought, well, our initial drop, we don't go to City South for a drop very often. So that would be kind of cool to take a southbound route out of the harbour, go to City South, make that drop, and then the steel mill, I thought that would be fun because we can drop that off and then, go straight into steel mill and then reverse back and go back round that triangle to the next one, which is at the farm, which is quite a good paying job. But then I looked at the weight of them and I thought, well, the problem is, 500 tons, nearly 500, it's 1,000, 350, that's 1,350, that's a bit more than the 1,200 rating on the D6, so if we add the DH4 to it, that's then overkill. And then I spotted this shunting job here for another 500 tons, so that would make that about 1,800 tons, which is just about capable for a DH4 and a DH6 in the dry. This is a shunting job, but if I do this one, then we'll have another job to City West. So that would then give us a set of jobs to go City South, steel mill, reverse out, through into the farm, City West, and then up to the machine factory to get our bits. So that seems like a fun thing to do, and maybe by the time I've finished doing this shunting job to generate the job I want, it may have stopped raining. That's the current plan, and then we'll do a night run multi-drop, which should be kind of fun. So let's get started. Here we go. I've just loaded this stuff and I brought it into 11 output line, which is this one here. These three cars here were already on the output line. Output lines aren't necessarily empty, so just be aware of that. But if I just stick the brake on that one. So these aren't connected. That's not part of our job. This is the one that I've loaded is actually up here. That's nothing to do with us. This is our job. I get all the way to the front. Now, I think because this is the one that goes to City West, I think this is the one that we're going to need on the train anyway. And we're going to want to connect it first because it'll be our last drop. So I'm just going to put the handbrake on that. But I'm not actually going to disconnect it. I should be able to hand the job in. I'll leave the engine running. I should be able to hand that job in. And we can immediately start moving forward to get the rest of our jobs. As you can see, it has stopped raining, and it is now going dark. The trouble is, I don't actually know what the weather's going to do after midnight. I suspect it will be clear. It's clear all the way to midnight, and I'm hoping that's enough time to do what we need to do, but it is already 8:30 now. Let's get this thing handed in. There we go. So that's paid 20k. Which is nice, it pays the bills, but the main thing we wanted it for is hopefully the new job that's been generated. There it is. Look at that. That's a 40 grand job now. So that number will have changed on the side of it from FH59 to FH10, and we've now already connected to this, and that's going to go to City West. So we'll pick up City West first. We'll then pick up the farm job, then we'll pick up the steel mill job, and then we'll pick up the City South job last. So that's the order we're going to do things. This one we already have on us. We're not handing anything in yet. I'll go over now to B2I and get the ammonium nitrate. And then we'll go to we'll go to E20. So we're already in the E yard. We'll move over to 20 and get the ammonium nitrate. Then we'll go to 70 and get the argon. So these are already on the E yard. And the last one is on 10. So everything is in the E yard. It's super convenient, but obviously the train length is going to start to build up as we start to add this. I may also have to turn on the D6. I know it's flat round here, but a DH4 trying to pull that around, even on the flat, it'll just start wheel spinning because the track is still a bit damp. So it's going to make sense if I just turn on the DE6. It'll certainly speed things up. But yeah, we're just going to get things loaded here. I was just double checking while I'm reversing here that I've got all the licenses and I haven't messed up. Hazmat 2 we do have. But I was thinking, what is Hazmat 3? I'm trying to remember what is Hazmat 3. Fragile. Yeah, we don't have the Hazmat 3 license, but I've not seen a job yet that has it, so I am beginning to question. I can't remember what chemical it is. Anyway, this is the ammonium nitrate here, which is a Hazmat 2 fragile. So you do have to be careful with this stuff, obviously. But they don't come in tanks, they come in these little boxes. So it can catch you out, because most of the hazardous materials tend to come in the tanks. Oh, I've got the DE6 running now as well. Oh, I'm going to hit that a bit harsh. Ooh, slow down, boys, slow down. There we go. Oh, it just broke away from me. If you hit it a bit too hard, that's what happens. It just gives it a bit of momentum. Even though the brake's on, it still gives it a bit of momentum. And we'll just connect that up. There we go. Right, let's get the air pipes. Have we got lucky? Of course we haven't. Yeah, this is quite a long one here. So then I'm going to pull forward, grab the argon, which is on 7.0. So I think that's probably argon. Is that the argon now? There it is, argon. FH87. Get the argon, and then it's... What's the last one? It's a 1.0. So 1.0 is a freight haul to City South, which will be, if I can jump on there, that will be the 1.4 City South, I believe. What's that, 42? 42, yeah. Cool. It's really convenient, everything's in the yard. I'll add up all the length and the weights of the cargo as well, just so that we've got that, because we'll need to punch that into our train length gadget. But it's looking like it's going to be a fun journey, albeit in the dark. But, you know, hey, we've got spot lamps. We're good. I'm reversing the... I've got 3 jobs on there. The 4th one is right there. You see where the green container is? That's in 1.0. And I've got problems with the range of the wireless controller. So I'm having to stand over here just to get enough range on the DH4. And I'm more or less going to have to guess. My intention is to get this thing slowed down. If I just speed it up a little bit. Before it gets that green container, I want to get the speed down to less than 5 Ks. Excuse me. I want to get the speed down to less than 5 kilometers an hour, because I can't go to the back and just control this train. So I'm going to have to basically slow it right down and then get over there and connect it. Because at that point I'll be outside of wireless control. So yeah, these are the interesting things that you have to deal with when you start dealing with longer trains. Let me get it slowed down now. Okay, if I get it down to like that kind of speed, maybe a touch less. There we go. Right. And we'll get over that, and hopefully I can get there before it does and get the chain on. Also, I need to put another flag on here. I have put flags on the others. Has this got the brake on? Brakes here. Good. Oh, please have enough momentum. What speed are you doing? 3. There should be enough momentum. There's a heck of a lot of weight. But once we latch the chain on, it'll stop it from... because it will have a tendency to bounce it. There you go. It'll bounce it away. Lock that up. That'll stop it from separating again. You can see, even with a handbrake on, it can't actually stop it. Because there's that much weight. So I'm going to release that. And what I want to do is just push it back just a little bit. I've got to hand all the jobs in yet. But I want to push it back a little bit. Just so we've got a little bit of a run up. Ooh, wheel spin. Even with a DH4 and a DA6, we're still getting a wheel slip. You can actually hear the brake lines are still pressurizing. That's how long this train is now. It's still releasing the brakes on those rear cars. And that's why it was struggling with wheel slip. You get all kinds of problems when you start connecting together really long, really heavy trains. Things that you don't normally have to deal with. And brake application and release is a big thing to look out for. Now, I've worked out the weight of all of the cars here. What I'm not completely sure of is the weight or length of the two transporters that we have. These things. This is a 9.1 meter, 3.6 ton flat car. 9.1 meter, 3.6 ton flat car. And this is a 14.4 10 ton. 14.4 10 ton. Okay. Not really sure how much to run back. We need to get this thing up to about 40-45 before we make that climb out the harbour. The back of that train will now be well beyond the E-yard. So I'm thinking the station's just here. This is going to be a fun nighttime drop, actually. As long as that weather holds, it's actually looking like it's clouded over to me. I need to get out of here. Because if that rain comes in as I'm getting out the harbour, we will be in serious trouble. Look at that. Look how long that takes. Just to get all the brakes on. It's crazy. Okay, right. Let's get to the station, add things up. Right, I've done the mathematics, or the maths on this, and that comes to... Wait for it. So the length of our train without our locomotives is 747 metres and 1818 tonnes, 1818 tonnes. If we add up all our two locomotives and utility cars, we end up with 802.5 metres and 2026.6 tonnes. So that's quite a lot. Before I start these jobs, I am going to set our routing here. We want to come out of here and head left to City South. I will then take a right turn and go through Coal Mine South. We'll then keep right through here. Keep right through here. And then as we get down to the steel mill, we're going to keep right and go into the steel mill. Make a drop, reverse back out. We'll then have to flick that switch over. Go through the farm, through Oil Well Central. Keep right through there. Keep right through City West. And we are making a drop at the farm, but then pull forward and reverse back into whatever we're dropping at City West. We'll then keep left and carry on up to the machine factory. Now, the City West is actually our final drop. So, the City West job goes to C2I. The farm job goes to B2I. The steel mill goes to B3I. And City South goes to B1I. So, let's go back to City South over here. And we want B1I. So, City South is something that we can drive through. So, as we come in from this direction, we're going to keep right, go left. So, we're not going to go to the museum. Go into B. B is going to be into 1I. So, that's right and right again. That will be straight through, disconnect, hand the job in, carry on. We'll then go up to the steel mill. The steel mill will be from the south here into B. We're going to go into B3I. So it's right, left, right, left. Into B3I. We'll then pull forward and then reverse back out of B. And then as we get towards the farm, we're going to be coming in from the east side. So we're going to keep right into B. We're going to go into 2I. So we're going to keep left here. Left again. Right into 2I. Make the drop. Hand it in. Carry on. And then finally, City West will be C2I. So we're going to keep right. keep right again. We're going to go up here, flick that switch. Well, it's already flicked. Flick that switch so that reverse back, keep right into C, and then C we want 2I. So we're going to go left, left, right. That is as much prep as I can reasonably do. The rolling forecast seems to indicate that we're currently going to be clear skies all the way. So let's start handing in and get going. The clock is ticking. Release the brakes. 2 notches of power. Let's get those wheels rolling. Sprint all the way over. Okay, the wipers are on for some reason. Don't know why. Bit more power. And we'll turn on our... Oh, I just love it. Our night vision. Look at that. So much visibility. Right, let's pick up the pace now. Best we can without spinning the wheels. A little touch of the wheel slip, but, you know, it's manageable. Huge amount of weight here. Really need to get the momentum built up. But I was completely guessing as to how much run-up we're going to need. Of course, the quicker we go, the harder it is to wheel slip, and therefore the more we can put the power on. You can see already, though, the temperatures are climbing rapidly. $30Ks, we should be able to hit 40. I'm not going to push it. I'd rather have a consistent power if I can. But I'm going to have to back off already. Look at this, and we're not even on a hill. This is just trying to get the speed. You can imagine how much this is going to overheat as we start to climb this gradient. Back off on the power. So there you go. Effectively, our power is now set. And we're just about going to round 40. I would have liked more speed, ideally. Am I going to run over a cat? Run! I didn't hear a scream. I think we're okay. I need to set the length of our train, which was 802 meters. So 800 is good enough. 44. I don't really want to go much quicker than this. But any momentum I can take without causing a derail or damage, I'll take it. Because this is going to be a bit of a struggle up here. We should start to lose speed shortly. There's 47. Remember, the back of the train is still going to go around that bend at 47. Speed's coming back. Generally, I am beginning to wonder if we're going to do this. We may have to go back and pick up another locomotive if we don't. I've done the calculations, but we are... With those extra cars, I know they're empty, but we're kind of beyond the limits, really. And this is not a straight 2% gradient. You can see the clinometer there. It's bouncing around. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's a bit over, like that, 2.5. Sometimes it's 1, like it really does vary, and that creates a lot of unpredictability. So far, so good. Left indication on the switch ahead. Down to 36, but we should start to flatten out here. I wish I could see the back of the train, but it's just nighttime, so we can't really, it's not worth looking back. It'll just be darkness. 30, and we're over the hump. Can we get the back of the train through? We are starting to lose pace here. I can't really put any more power down. Yeah, look at that, it's just all in darkness. This is by far the worst part of the journey. As soon as we get to City South, we'll be dropping off. How much of that cargo we're dropping off? City South? That's the steel mill. City South. We're dropping 500 tons as soon as we make this drop, so from then on it's plain sailing. But can we get up this bit? I think we've steadied out at 26. Even with those extra lights, it's still... Look at the main beam one. There you go. It's very misty. Yeah, I think we're good. We have steadied out at 26, and in fact we're now picking up speed, so I think the majority of the train is now up that slope. That was good. That was very good. That was comfortable, but still a bit of a squeaky bum. Just got to watch the main speed here. The difficulty is going to be trying to line up the rear. How many cars are we dropping? It's like 10 cars. Trying to line up the rear 10 cars in that yard without having much control with the remote. That's going to be the real challenge coming up. Coming through here, I don't really want to do more than about 50. Because I think, if I remember, there are bends at 50. We should be, where are we now? We're just doing the right-hand turn around here. It does get sharp there. I think it's a 50 turn. There it is, 50. And then an increase in speed limit after that, so... We'll back off on the throttle a little bit now. Now we've got 2,000 tons, so when we go to brake this thing, it's going to take time. Still got a 1 degree climb, still increasing, and then I'm going to start that, because that is after our 50 turn. .70, then a decreasing speed limit. Look how long it takes. We're not even halfway past that bend yet. It's crazy. I do love doing these long runs. This is the real fun in Derail Valley, is picking these jobs that are within the limit of what you've got in terms of power, but still a bit of a challenge as you manage this sheer weight and length through the valley. This is the fun. A bit more power again. The trick is not to lose momentum. You will really struggle to hill start something like this, and we're on a constant gradient. There we go. That's the length. So that's the back of the train through. 50 limit here. So far so good. I'm just going to back off all the throttle now. We've got a 50 limit and a lot of momentum. And if I've got any of these switches wrong, it's going to take a long time to stop. Let's remind ourselves where we are going here. We're going to City South. B1I. We've got a right turn. B1I is verified. You can see this is quite a short track, really. I'm just going to slow it down a little bit, and we'll get out here somewhere. We need to try and judge the front of the train stopping. It's going to be difficult because we're at night time as well. And it really is hard to make out these trains. I need to stop everything before this board, though. The train in front of it is these things, which are the silver cars, the Argon. So I can already see those at the back. So we've got a nice visual reference to look for. But you watch that wireless signal, you can see it's already down to 50%. Those flags we've got are pretty useless. See, right now, and I've said this in a previous episode, right now I'd really like a head torch on my character, because it would allow me to shine my torch not only on these controls in front of me, but also on those cars at the back, and I might actually have a chance of seeing the flag on one of the cars as it goes past. Okay, I think I can see the back coming up here. We're losing signal. Gonna get a bit more braking on. Remind ourselves that the station is all the way over there. It's looking pretty good, actually. We're down to 1 bar of signal. This is pretty tough, so what we might be better doing is sticking on one of these handbrakes here. I'll just whack that on there. Oh my god. Dear me. Right, let's take that one back off. We'll remove our flag. That was not easy to stop, was it? Break that, undo that. Get that gone. I'm going to double check. FH42 is the drop. FH42 is drop. 87 is the one we're keeping. We are all good. Try and release these brakes. I'm not going to start the train moving because, frankly, it's a long train and it's going to be bad enough trying to catch it. Let's see if we've got this. We've got it. We've got 25k in the bank. Let's go. Good. First drop success. Things will get a bit easy now because the wireless signal can just about handle the train length. Just. And we're down 500 tons already, so we're very comfortable. Even if it rained, we could probably still do this because the biggest hill is done. So I'll take that as a success. We're doing well. Let's gradually bring the power in. A little bit of wheel slip. There's the indicator there. It will automatically cut the sand in because we've got the wheel slip computer. And because it's blue signal connected to the DE6, it will activate the sand on that as well. Even though it might not need it, but that's just the way it's going to work. Bit more power. Yeah, you can see already it's just so much easier to handle. Our power to weight ratio just went up quite a bit. So we're now leaving City South. We've just got to negotiate our way through this kink here. And then we're taking a right turn up to the coal mine and straight through the coal mine. Did I actually set the coal mine? I don't think I did. Don't believe I did. Now, coal mine, I've said before, 2L is your best bet. It's always empty. So we'll keep right, keep left, straight through 2L and back out again. Bearing in mind the red's there, which means this is the north. We're coming in from the south, so that's our routing. B is not something I would recommend. If you are going to go B, go through this top track. But I wouldn't recommend it, personally. You could try your luck at an input line. It usually would be empty. But 2L is by far the best, because it's... The game will never spawn anything there. It'll never put anything there. It's always empty. Alright, let's get more speed going. Did I forget any others? Coal mine south I did. Steel mill we've done. Farm we've... Not... Did we do farm? We did. We didn't do Orwell Central. I need to check Orwell Central as a drive-through. So keep left. Then... Good job I checked this. Look, right and then left. That's now set for straight through. I'll set this one just as well. There you go. So we're going to come in that way. City West we've done. Okay. Good job I checked that. I can't exactly remember the speed limits of the bends outside of City South. 40's probably a safe bet. There's something very cool about driving at night though, isn't there? I don't know what it is. Driving around at night, it's all very quiet. The world's very still. It's just nice. 70 here. So I believe we're about here at the moment, I think. Unless we just know, we might be here actually. I think we just did that round turn, we might be here. In which case we're barreling round for a sharp right. What do you guys think about my little red lighting in here at night? Compared to the alternative, which is that. I quite like this. I think it's better on the night vision. And you could put whatever colour you want. You could put white there and just, you know, instead of having this, you could have a dimmable white. Personally, I just think that red is a lot easier on the eyes at night. Well, it's scientifically proven to be, but that's beside the point. It's all about preference when you're in a sim. It looks like the corners are 50. I thought it might be a 40, but I think this is looking like, I think we're here. So it's actually a 50. It looks sharper on the map. But you can see, if you're going a bit too quick, you know, there's nothing good going down there. Nothing good at all. And when you've got hazardous fragile cargo, not only will that be an expensive re-rail as you try to find those cars at the bottom of the valley, but the fines you will pay for your toxic spillage will bankrupt you. Like, you better have a lot of money in that wallet. We've got back up to 800, so we're doing pretty well financially. I don't think we're going to get to 1 million. I think we're going to hand these jobs in and then pay for a bunch of parts, so we'll get to 1 million at some point, but not yet. Getting a 60 limit. We should be approaching the coal mine soon. We've got a long left and then we've got the switch to the right, so again, I'm going to keep it around 40. I can't remember if the switch to the right is a 40, a 30 or a 50, but if I split the difference and go 40, then it's not impossible to break down to 30 if I need to. And we're on a negative gradient. We are a bit. Yeah, it's a 50. Okay, we're fine. Okay, aspect says right, which is correct. And the lights of the coal mine should be coming in fairly soon. There they are. On a clear night. And then I'm just going to start the distance tracker, which is now wrong because we need to have taken off 200 meters, I think. So it should really be on 600. I'll just bring that down to the... We lost 191 meters. So it should be about there. I'll put a bit of power in. We'll just keep our speed nice and steady through here. There's the 50 limit. This is where we really hope we got our switching right. Because frankly, we can't actually see. There's 2L, left turn is 2L. The problem is, at night time, by the time you've seen something, by the time you've seen the switch is wrong, or there's cars on the track, etc., with this amount of weight, it's too late. You're done. Okay, it's a fairly straight run now before we do our right turn descent down into Steel Mill. So remind ourselves of our next drop. It's a bunch of argon. It is 10 cars of argon into B3I at the Steel Mill, which I'll just bring up. B3I is a right, 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 left. So I'm going to pull into here, disconnect, hand in, pull forward, reverse back down the middle, Back down the middle, we'll have to set those switches and we'll have to set them at the triangle as well. Other than that, steady as she goes. Right, we're coming on into the descent down into steel mill. I'm going to have to get some brakes in here because the dynamic brake is really starting to overheat now. Those temperatures have just shot up. So yeah, there's a lot of momentum here. Want to keep it around about sort of 50 mark as we go through those switches, no more than that. There we go. We've got it under control. Okay, I'll back off on the brakes now. There's the steel mill. Still full dynamic brake all the way down here. The back of the train's still on that slope, but it should start to level out now. And hopefully I've got this right through here, because if I haven't, it's already too late. 3i is identified. I'm going to start putting some brake on. And I'm going to jump out. There we go. Let's get her slowed down. You can see just how long it's taken. Let's remind ourselves, this is the job we're looking for. Silver cars, and they need to be somewhere beyond about here, so we'll try and line them up for this board. Disconnect, pull it all through. There's the rear of the train. Now the front of that train's going to start hitting the downslope, so it might start to pick up speed shortly, and if it does, that's why. Because after the steel mill here, it starts to descend down towards the goods factory in Orwell. Our main culprit is going to be train length. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on the front here. There's our flag, there's our flag. I'm going to mark the front of the train rather than the back of the train. That way I keep the signal strength. But you can see when the back's coming through. Yeah, that's fine. So the back's already coming in. There's our marker board for the front. Okay, let's take our little flag. Get all the brakes on. Handbrakes onto that. Come on, game. Can't seem to control the throttle. I think I've seen this one before. This might be a bug. Okay, that's 33k for that drop. Yeah, look, see, I can't control it. Now, unfortunately, when you do get that particular bug, the only solution is a restart of the game. Which is somewhat frustrating, if I'm honest. So I think I might have to quickly do that. I don't know why it occurs, but I have seen it a number of times now. We're moving because we're rolling, but yeah, look, I can't control the train at all. I've lost control completely. I am going to have to restart. Back in a second. Right, I'm back. Reloaded, it was absolutely fine. In fact, I just went back to the main menu and loaded the save, and it was absolutely fine. Seen that half a dozen times now. It's just a thing. Like I say, I don't know why it happens. I'm reversing back, so what we're doing here is just reversing back up this hill, and then we're going to make a left turn and head down to the farm. Right, when we made that drop, I should have adjusted the length of this. I need to knock off another 180 meters from that, so I'll bring that down to... Well, there, that should be approximate length of our train. We do have a 50 limit around this very sharp turn. As we approach the farm now, we'll just remind ourselves that we are coming into B. And we're going to keep left, left, and right into 2I, which is here and is empty. Just going to get a little bit of brake on and then jump out about here. And we're looking for the end. Well, we're looking for the back of this should be a set of orange-coloured ammonium nitrate cars. Let me just slow it down a little bit. So there's the front of it right there. We'll stay here because the station's just over here. Train length now should be down to just about 450 meters or so. So it should be within wireless range. And there we go. Anywhere here will do. So what we're going to do now is jump over this side. We know the back's clear. I just need to find the front of it. We should have a flag here. There's the flag. Grab that. And can we jump over this? Just about made it. $70K. That is absolutely lovely. Let's have a look at what time we took, actually. We took 40 minutes. We had a bonus on 72. So, you know, we had 30-odd minutes to spare, which, you know, it's not huge amounts. It's comfortable. But it's not the crazy amount of time that we used to have. That is coming down, and it's coming down because, first of all, we're making more complicated drops. And secondly, because all the different licenses that we're picking up are eating away at our bonus percentage, like 5% here, 5% there, 2% here, and it's come down. But it's still fun as long as you're organised and you do all the prep beforehand. You know, if you do have a problem on the way, if, you know, you have to, if you misjudge something, you end up stuck on a hill, you got to reverse back and go forward again, then yeah, you might lose your bonus. It's happened. It's happened to me before, that I've just messed up, or it's starting to rain, or I've misjudged something and I've got delayed en route and I've lost my bonus. And that's just the way it is. Once you start messing around with the big jobs, things get a bit trickier, and the more licenses you get, the tolerance gets less and less. So we're looking to go through here. We're going to head down to City West now. So our train length should come down another 180 meters. So we should be down to about 250-ish. And we've got a right, left, straight through aspect. That's what we're looking for. Now we could stop here and start looking for jobs, but it's kind of pointless because Oilwell Central doesn't send anything to Machine Factory, I don't think. It might send gas to the goods factory or liquid something to the Machine Factory, but I don't want to lose the bonus on this one, so because this is quite a big paying job, this one. So I'm keen to get it over there. If we just remind ourselves where we're going into C2I. We've already set this right, reverse back into C. Left, right, 2I. That's our final drop. And then we're heading up towards the Machine Factory. We can have a look in the station at City West to see if there happens to be anything back up to the Machine Factory. There might be a logistic job. Might be worth taking. You know, pay the diesel. Speaking of diesel, we're on just over half a tank. Not sure what the D6 is on, but it's been a good run. We've earned some good money here. 908,000, and if we pick this up, I think we're... Yep. We won't quite hit 1 million. We're destined not to get to 1 million. Seriously. Right, I've messed up here. Not been paying attention, and I need to kill some speed quickly. There we go. Keep your eye on the ball, people. Right, we've got a 40, a 30 coming up. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain, this one, but the length of the train's really reduced now as the mass is down to about 600 tons or so, so, you know, knocking our speed down now is actually fine. Whereas earlier, everything took a long time. It's 30 round here. It's a really sharp turn. We'll just use that to let us know when it's clear. So we need to get over to City West, drop our speed back to 30 and reverse in. I reckon it's 3:23 AM now. I reckon by the time we get up to the machine factory, it might be very early sunrise, which is kind of cool. We drove all through the night. Right, we're just going to jump out here. There's quite a lot of ambient light out right now, even though it's like 3 AM. It's not completely dark. I've seen much darker evenings than this in the game. Right, where's the back of this train? Is that it? That's it. That's the yellow car. 973. Which we look on our list is 973 is the yellow one at the back. I think what we'll do is we'll jump on the back of this. Alright, as soon as we make this drop, we'll turn the DE6 off. We don't need it anymore, really. The DH4 can haul that up the hill. And we're looking to go straight into the machine factory's loading bay. That's where we want to go. Machine factory's going to be here. Right turn, and then is it in C? I think it's loading bay C, is that one low? So yeah, that should be set up to drive straight in. Then we load up. We have the problem of trying to turn around because machine factory is not very good at turning around until we get the military license. At the point where we get the military license, everything changes up at the machine factory in terms of our ability, because we've then got access to this yard here, which means you can come up and you can reverse down into here and then back out again. So you basically add a turnaround point just because you've got access to the military yard. It's kind of nuts. Right, 2 eyes set. I can see a DH4 in there, look. We could get a service if we need to, but we don't need to. Machine factory's got a service yard anyway. Did I put a... I'm trying to remember if I put a flag on this one. No, I didn't. That's fine. Oh yeah, I've already took it, haven't I? Right, there we go. Yeah, I've already picked it up. I was just making sure I haven't lost any flags. We've got quite a few here. Move them over there. We've got 3 keys to use as well at some point. I think once we get our own DE6, I think they'll be looking to go and get that DE6 slug out the shed. That's down at the harbour. We don't really need it, but we'll go and get it anyway because it's fun. Okay, that's our final drop. Let's undo that. Let's jump in the DE6 and we'll just quickly turn the engine off. No point burning diesel that we don't need to burn. Now, do I need anything from the shop here? Just trying to think. Don't think I do. $73. What was that? 50 minutes out of 104, so still quite comfortable. We're now up to 982. We're so close to 1 million. So close to 1 million. We nip in here, see if there's anything we need for our D6. Lights and bracket. I think we've got enough brackets and stuff. DVRT, we definitely have all that. Sand, I think we had enough sand. I honestly can't remember how many sand we've got. I'm just going to buy a couple sand, just in case. Red light bar. We'll buy 2 of them, just in case. Don't want swivel lights. 1 more of them. Just make sure we've got solder. I don't really want to run out of stuff, that's the problem. Okay, we'll collect that later. Right, let's get that runaway train. Where is it? I can hear it. There it is. Flipping heck. Come here! I spent a bit too long in that shop. Blimey. Good grief, 20 Ks. I can run quick. Lovely. Yeah, not going to bother with a job out of there. We'll just pull up to the machine factory now. And then we're ready to get our parts. Alright, so I actually changed my mind slightly. I decided, you know what? Instead of having a faff around at the machine factory, what I'll actually do is I pulled into here, flip that switch and reverse back up. So I'm now reversing up to the machine factory. And the other thing I decided was, rather than reverse go straight into the loading yard, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to reverse into the service yard. So assuming I've set this correctly, left again, left again, I should be going straight into the service yard. I'm going to slow it down a bit though because I'm getting a bit close. Because I thought if I just reverse in here, I can get everything serviced and refueled, ready for the next run, can't I? There we go. That's a more sensible speed to approach the service yard. And straight in, all clear. That's a nice selection. A D6, a D2, and a couple of steams. Oh, all the steams are here, look. Blimey, what a choice. Now, I should be able to connect to our little utility vehicle. It has a diesel thing on it, as long as I can get it rather than this. But put this beyond the yellow bit. The utility vehicle should sit in the yellow bit. We should be able to service all 3 vehicles is the current plan. Let me slow it right down. But I've not tried this before, so there's the diesel point. This may not reach, which is going to be very annoying. Let's get it back as far as I can. Remember, the diesel hose is not particularly long. Okay, where's that at? You gonna reach that, pal? Yeah. Job's a good one. Okay. Right. Oh, he says falling into the turntable. Right, guys, I am going to leave it there. That's enough for this episode, I think. We've done a really good night run there. The sun is just starting to come up. I'm going to service these 3, and then we're going to reverse into the loading yard in the next episode. Get our parts loaded, see what jobs we can get, and get ourselves back down. And in the next episode, I think we're going to be doing up our own D6, which is quite exciting. I do need to go to the shop here as well and get some bits before I go. Anyway, please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're not subbed. Take care, guys. Happy training.